There's a question down here from Mendoza. Speaking of energy, what kind of energy do you want to have here? Which rival do you want to beat the most, UF or Miami? And I feel like I know this one. I feel like I know this one.
I want to beat both. I want to destroy both of them. But which one I look forward to most? Whenever I'm on my Twitter or on like Instagram, I see a lot of Miami fans talking about this. So I probably have to say I look forward to beating Miami more than Florida. But I want, like I said, I want to beat both. I want to destroy both, and I don't want it to be close. But Miami for sure. They talk too much.
Hey guys, it's Terrence Man. You're listening to Hear the Spear, presented by No Game Day. Go Dogs.
Hey, what's up? This is Peter Ward, aka E-Dub, in the house. So we're listening to Hear the Spear, presented by No Game Day. Go Live, go Noles.
Hi, this is Charlie Ward, and you're listening to Hear the Spear, go Noles.
This is Terrell Buckley. You're listening to Hear the Spear, presented by No Game Day. No Bloody.
But perhaps better known as the greatest corner to ever step on a football field, Deion Primetime Sanders.
Great Deion Sanders, my brother. What's going on, man? I could wake up to that greeting every day, man. That was awesome.
Hello, Noles fans. This is former Seminole Derek Brooks, and you're listening to Hear the Spear, presented to you by No Game Day.
James Wilder Jr. What's going on, James?
Thanks for having me on. FSOD, Florida State or Die, and go Noles.
William Bar None Floyd.
Gentlemen, what's up?
What is happening, guys? This is Logan Robinson from Hear the Spear, presented to you by NoelGameDay.com. Hope everyone's having a wonderful and fantastic evening. I know we are, because we have current 2023 quarterback commit Chris Parson in the crib tonight.
Yes, sir.
What up, man? How's it going up there? No school tomorrow.
What's up? Yeah, I'm chilling, man. No school tomorrow. It's been a good week for me, just working out, things like that. School's been going well, and then for it to cap off with no school tomorrow, I'm doing pretty good on this end, man.
That's got to be nice. I remember being in high school, and whenever school was canceled, that was life-changing for me.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
It wasn't about snow, though, and ice on the streets. It was about hurricanes and storms coming through. But
yeah.
It felt good, because I know I was just going to play video games until probably 2 a.m. So.
That's probably going to be me tonight, video games and movies.
Yep.
That's what I'm on tonight, man, so...
We'll talk about the NCAA, because I'm sure the fans want to know about the road to glory.
Oh yeah. So Dustin has me on Snapchat, so like he's been watching it, but
I'm dialed in.
I think like maybe like one of the last regular season games of the season, a friend had came up to me, and I had been asking for a long time, if anybody had an Xbox 360 for sale or something like that, and it's kind of rare now because everybody has PlayStation 4s, 5s, and things like that. So I found somebody who had an Xbox 360, and I ended up buying NCAA 13 so I could play college football with Florida State. And so probably Christmas break, I had a lot of time on my hands. So I did the Road to Glory Dynasty mode, created my own player, played the high school games at Ravenwood, and went to Florida State, won 3 national championships, 2 Heisman trophies. And so it's been fun, man, just, playing the game with FSU and playing inside Doak Campbell and stuff like that. It's been real fun. So it's just something, to buy time and just, something as one of my hobbies, just to chill back and relax. So, yeah.
Nate, did you have NCAA EA Sports back in your day? I don't want to bring up anything too, hurtful, but did they have that back in your day?
Nah, man. Back in my day, we had Atari and, all that kind of stuff. Of course, dude. Come on, man. So, Chris, the joke on here is that I'm old.
I was starting to see that. I could tell by that question. I was starting to get that feeling.
But the thing is, these young cats don't know that. Put me on the controller, whether it's Xbox, PlayStation, Sega Genesis. I don't care. I'm gonna smoke anyone in NCAA.
Right.
That's a bet. That's a bet.
For sure.
So,
What did you turn last week, Nate?
44.
I
don't look a day above 20, okay?
Just
that day, man.
No, man. But I was playing that back when, I used to just throw Peter Work outside screens to just dominate people.
6. That's easy. 6.
Yeah, just a straight out bubble screen to Peter Work, and that was a touchdown every time.
Yeah, for sure. That was pretty much the thing in real life too. with
Yeah.
Peter Ward, man.
But I stopped playing Xbox when they stopped making that game, so that's the only reason why I had Xbox.
Yeah, same for me.
I tried Call of Duty. My wife bought it for me for Christmas one year.
Okay.
It lasted about 25 minutes. I threw it out the back window because I kept getting killed.
That's funny.
Those aren't my games. I'm more like Madden, NCAA. That's it.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I hopped on GTA for a little bit.
Yeah,
and I played it like one summer, but Madden, that's my game right there, man. And then when I got NCAA back, I've been on that heavy. So Madden's kind of like second place right now, but yeah, Madden, NCAA, those are my games, man. The football games for sure.
Yeah. Well, with us this evening, VZ just joined in. He's on an incredible losing streak to any kind of venue he watches a Florida State athletics game. I mean, it is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, you're on now. What is your streak? Because it includes football, too. It includes football also.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
No, it includes the Clemson game.
I think it's
5 or 6.
If we're including football, I think it's on 6 because Notre Dame at Wake. At Clemson, both football and basketball, South Carolina basketball, and Georgia Tech basketball. It's bad right now.
Chris, we gotta stop letting him go to games.
Need you to stay at home, bro.
Please.
or we gotta have the kid Kaysen. We gotta have the little kid Kaysen come watch the game with him. That
might fix it.
Yeah, for sure.
No, what's happening is that the galaxy's realigning.
Nate, I don't want to hear your theories about
basketball is
going
to be garbage.
Successful together.
Basketball is going to be garbage again. So football will take its rightful place.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
For sure.
Football is taking its rightful spot back to the elite. The new blood thing was fun. It was cool, but it's over.
For sure. I like that. I like that idea right there.
That's a good
I
way.
do not like that idea. I do not.
Beezy does not like that.
Not a fan of that idea.
Oh, man. Well, let me introduce everybody. Dustin Lewis is up there, lead writer and editor at NoleGameDay.com. We've got Chris up there, like we mentioned earlier, 2023 quarterback commit next to me. We've got Austin Beasy, lead basketball writer, going through some rough times right now. And then Nate Greer, lead recruiting insider. We're here, gentlemen. Been looking forward to having Chris on for a while now. He just wrapped up a visit not too long ago where we went and interviewed him and got to see him hanging out with Tokarz. That's probably where I'm going to start it off, Chris. Talk about maybe your visit, how it went. You told us afterwards that felt like you were royalty. It was a lot different than what it was the past season. This was a real deal.
Yeah, man. That was my favorite visit. That was the best visit I've ever had. It was even better than the visit that I had in June before I committed. The visit that made me want to commit to Florida State. And so, but yeah, it was awesome, man. Just getting back to Tallahassee, being with the coaches, getting to spend time with Coach Tokarz. It was great, man. I spent time with AJ Duffy. I was in his dorm just chilling with him and things like that. We went out to go eat. Got on the board with Coach Tokarz, Coach Atkins, the photo shoot, being around with other players, getting the tour. It was awesome, man. I enjoyed my time down there for sure. And it was a great experience for my whole entire family. And I'm ready to get back March 5th for sure.
So I want to ask a follow-up question. The question that's been in my mind is, that video that came out. Shout out to FSU production. That was it was a nice video.
Forrest did his thing on that, man.
Yeah, that was real nice.
Yeah.
And I want to get right to that. I want to get right to the Kobe quote. Because I've retweeted that a few times.
Oh, yeah.
So is that something that you've used before? Is that the first time because you said it was just like it was an everyday thing for you?
Mm-hmm. So this kind of like how it all went down. So Coach Tokarz and I, we talk a lot. And so we were just talking one day and I said something about Kobe and he kind of like opened up more about it to me, how he admires Kobe as well. So like we were just talking about Kobe and then, another time we were on the phone, he was just giving me the rundown of what the visit was going to be like. And he was like, you're going to do this, we got this planned out. Is there anything you would want to do? And then he brought up the video and like the pictures and photo shoots and things like that. He was like, you have any ideas? I was like, yeah, I got the perfect idea. So I texted him like the Kobe quote. And then I went and found the video where I had saw it from. It was like a TED talk that Kobe was having. Yeah. And so that just popped up in my brain. I was like, that would be super dope. And then this is without me like even knowing, about like Forrest and how he was going to do the whole video. But once I told Coach Tokarz about that, he kind of got back with them, with the media crew. And then that's when you saw, like, during my photo shoot, I was taking pictures with the Larry O'Brien, the Davey O'Brien trophy, Jameson's trophy, you know, doing the pose like Kobe, laying on the ball and things like that. So I had chose to do that quote. I feel like it would be good as far as recruiting and things like that. I figured a lot of recruits were going to see this, you know, with me posting on Twitter and Instagram. So, but yeah, I feel like it was a really great idea. You know, Forrest, like I said, he did a real good job on the video. That video, man, it's hard. So, but yeah, I've watched it so many times, man. It's super dope. And but yeah, you know, that was just something that, you know, I kind of had come to my brain. I told Coach Tokarz about it, and he made it happen. So.
Yeah, how's your relationship with Tokarz? Obviously, named as the quarterbacks coach there in Tallahassee. How is that relationship building? We saw y'all go off to lunch, like you had mentioned, and spending some time with some other staff members. But how is that building the relationship? Because you go from Kenny Dillingham, which you were also close with too, and then you move over to Tony Tokarz. How is that relationship going with him?
It's been awesome so far, man. Coach Tokarz, that's my guy. I had a good relationship with Coach Dillingham, but I can say, like, as of right now, like, my relationship with Coach Tokarz, man, it's grown tremendously. Like, him and I, we were cool. We talked a few times. I had got his number back when I visited in June, and he was just, you know, like, you know, sometimes Coach Dillingham might be busy, just hit me up and things like that. And there was other times where I called throughout the year. I call Coach Dillingham, and he'll be busy, so Coach Tokarz will answer the phone, and I'll talk to him and things like that. Then I was with him, you know, after the Miami game. We were just chilling in the lounge talking. But, you know, ever since he's gotten promoted, you know, him and I, we've been talking every day, FaceTiming almost every other day. I was actually supposed to call him today after school. I forgot. So I'm going to probably hit him up after this. But yeah, the relationship's been great, man. He's super cool. I feel real comfortable, you know, around him and things like that. And it's been great. And I'm glad that he got promoted to QB coach, and I can't wait to, you know, get up there and learn from him even more.
Yeah.
What about Coach Atkins? How was it spending some time with Florida State's new offensive coordinator when you were down here a few weeks ago? And
I enjoyed that. Yeah, I enjoyed that as well. Coach Atkins, man, he's good people. I've talked to him on the phone multiple times. I remember when I visited the first time in last June, and just being around him, it was always fun, you know, just being around him. He was like the life of the party. And so once I got there, you know, few weeks ago, it was the same thing, man. Coach Atkins, he's good people. He came up to my school, chopped it up with him again, just spent time with him. He's great people, man. I'm excited to, you know, one day play for those two guys. And yeah, like I said, he's real good people, man. I love, you know, being around them, just talking to him and things like that. And my relationship with him has gotten better, you know, ever since he's gotten promoted as well.
Before I get to Khalil's question on here and also donation, what really do you think makes Coach Atkins stand out? Because we hear kind of general things. He does a great job. He's building relationships. But what really is making him go to where he's going outside of his position group and able to grab guys or at least help reel them into Tallahassee? What is the difference with Coach Atkins now also being promoted as a co-offensive coordinator heading into the season?
Yeah, I feel like it's the way he connects with the players. I've heard, you know, multiple players, they gave me like the rundown on Coach Atkins and things like that, and none of them were wrong. I heard nothing but good things about him. And just being around him, it all translates. He connects with me really well. He knows how to talk to me and things like that. And he's fun. He's fun to be around. You know, he's not boring. He's not lame or anything like that. And he also knows what he's talking about. So, you know, when you get all those things, you know, built in one, you know, that's a perfect match for me. And so I feel like his connection with the players, you know, just with him being, you know, on a coach's standpoint and also as like a friend standpoint and things like that, I feel like it correlates well. And I feel like that's, you know, that's played a big role in him being able to, you know, recruit guys and, you know, kind of bring the whole offense together, you know, with him being the O-line coach last year, but now with him being the offensive coordinator. So I think it's a perfect match with him, you know, being able to connect with players and things like that.
Mm-hmm. That's a good question here, and also appreciate the 20 bomb from Khalil. He's saying Parson is criminally underrated talent. I did see the Max Preps post on your IG story too. I might bring that up here next. But Max Preps left you out of the top 10 in that rating there. And don't worry, Nate, the next year he'll do his advocating for you, and he'll make sure that the campaign.
I'm a great advocate, dude. Don't worry about it. I'm the reason why Travis Hunter ascended to number one in the country.
Okay.
People finally listened to what I was saying about him being, the best player that I had ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing this probably for almost longer than you've been alive, but probably, yeah. But he's special talent. It sucks what happened, but before I get too fired up about that.
No, I was gonna go in. The question here, Khalil's asking you, who are some of the teams outside of FSU's normal opponents that you'd like to play against for a championship? When you go to FSU,
that's.
Or should I say championships? I shouldn't say championship. I should say championships. I should say.
That's a good question.
That is,
man. Alabama for sure. I feel like with Nick Saban being there, they're always going to have great talent, and they're always going to get coached up well. So I feel like that'll be a really good opponent. Probably now with like USC with Lincoln Riley going there, I feel like they're going to get a lot of players, especially like on the West Coast and things like that. So I feel like that'll be a good team to want to play against.
And he has no defense, so you'd be able to put up 50 on him.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. That'd be perfect. Putting up points and winning games. That'd be perfect. So, when I think of a question like that, Alabama, USC, those are the ones that come to mind. Outside of the ACC. So, we got LSU. I don't know how well they're going to be, but teams like that, those are definitely teams I love to play against.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I was going to say, I was going to just go back kind of to your visit too. While you were there, you were doing some recruiting on your own. I know I saw you talked to us about leaving your golf cart and going and talking with a certain target, one that we know a family of, Carlos Williams, former national champion.
Yep.
Talk to us about your visit going into recruiting. You're now a bell cow. You tweeted last night saying now it's my turn. Now it's Tribe 23. We've got to build this thing. Kind of take us through the visit they're recruiting, and then heading into now. It's officially now turned to 2023 in the class there.
Yes, sir. I was with Tyler Williams for most of the visit. It was great being around him. We got to the facility. We got to the the indoor around the same time. Just meeting him. We had texted a few times before the visit, and then meeting him. He was real cool, chill, laid back. While we were on the cart, I was just asking him questions, football questions and things like that. And he was starting to open up a lot. And he's real good people, man. He's a tremendous talent, but I like him a lot, even more as a person. So it was great getting the chance, to be around him. I talked to a lot more recruits, man. There was some guys up there, some real big-time linemen. And, most of them are going to be coming back March 5th. So I'm really excited about that. We're going to have more guys in town March 5th. And I feel like, March 5th, that's going to be a real big day for us as far as, getting guys in there and putting our best foot forward as to what FSU has to offer. So, I feel like, it's about to start heating up, man. Signing day is over with. It ended Wednesday, so it's our time, and it's time to, ramp this thing up, start getting guys to join the trial so we can do something special.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, I don't know, Tom Lemming's a little bit of an older guy like me, been around the block for a while, but he had an interview with a Tallahassee beat writer.
I saw that.
Kind of talking about how, the recruits in Florida are really digging FSU, but we've always talked about on here, Florida State's got to win. They got to show it on the field, and that's what it comes down to. I think the people who follow the program closely, and you can probably speak on it more than we can because you get more of interaction with them, but I'm a believer that Norvell's a great offensive mind. I think he's a great evaluator. I think that he's going to get it to where it needs to be. But talk real quick about how Florida State really does need to improve on the field, and how you look at that, and when you try to attract the talent to come play with you.
Yes, sir. Well, like as far as myself, I look at myself and I consider myself a winner. And a lot of the guys around me, they want to come in and they want to win games. And I'm real confident in Coach Norvell. I'm real confident in Florida State. I feel like this year, with his third year being there, I feel like we're gonna have a really good season, especially with the transfers that we've gotten in so far. And with a lot of the guys in 2022 graduating early and already enrolling, so I feel like it's gonna be a really good year for us. And I feel like we're gonna see a lot of guys hopping on to Trial 23 once they see us win football games. And so for us, we have to go out there and we have to produce. I have no doubt in my mind that Coach Norvell and the rest of the staff, they're going to get that done. I believe in the players that's there at Florida State already, and I'm excited to see what happens this year.
And I guess my follow-up question is that, I know Dustin and I talk to recruits more than, the other guys on here, but it's a lot of comments about the energy the staff brings compared to other schools, and that's not a knock on other coaches. That's not a knock on other programs. That's it's just a constant thing that we hear is that how active and how energetic they are.
Right.
So like Norvell getting these guys on campus, it gives them an opportunity to kind of present and show what he's really about.
Absolutely. I can second that. Florida State really big on energy, and I feel like that plays a big role in recruiting. I know I felt it for sure when I came and visited last year. With the whole staff, out there waiting on me. Like once I got off the golf cart, I just felt it. Like it wasn't like any other visit I had before that, and there was no visit that I took after that that stood a chance. The feeling is just different, and this whole staff, it's just great energy with everyone. They show a lot of love. I won Offensive Player of the Year in my district here in Tennessee, and I remember having like the whole entire offensive staff text me like at different times personally, just congratulating me and things like that. So I definitely feel the love. I feel like that's a big part of Florida State and what they're all about. And the energy is really important. And I feel like that's going to be, a big factor in us getting players. And I feel like that's going to be a big factor in us winning games in the future.
There's a question down here from Mendoza. Speaking of energy, what kind of energy do you want to have here? Which rival do you want to beat the most? UF or Miami? And I feel like I know this one. I feel like I know this one.
I want to beat both. I want to destroy both of them. But which one I look forward to most? Whenever I'm on my Twitter or on like Instagram, I see a lot of Miami fans talking about this. So I probably have to say I look forward to beating Miami more than Florida. But I want to beat both. I want to destroy both. And I don't want it to be close, but Miami for sure. They talk too much, bro. So
even making VZ basketball guys smile.
Yeah. So Miami for sure. Yeah.
They're 20 years in a row off-season defending national champions. 20 straight years. Every year since the national title is gonna be next year. I'm gonna get on a diatribe if I keep going, but. There's a reason why they don't have a full coaching staff right now.
Hey,
yeah,
let
them handle
right there, man. Yeah. You said it right there. I hope recruits are on here as well because I've been preaching that same message to them. I mean,
we're 5 weeks out from spring and they don't have a full coaching staff yet. They just hired a retread defensive coordinator who has had 6 jobs in 5 years or whatever it is, something ridiculous. So, I mean, I can go on and on. We can talk about Miami for a while.
Yeah, offensive coordinator, no wide receivers coach.
Yeah,
tough scenes down.
Their offensive line coach has to sit in a booster seat.
No,
when he drives his car.
all I can say is from that right there, me being a Florida State commit and playing at Florida State someday, I know who my quarterback coach is, and I know who my offensive coordinator is, and so
I like that. Mark is asking here. So, Chris, what does the tradition at FSU mean to you, and how do you envision your career playing out as a Seminole great?
The tradition at FSU, man, it's everything, man. It's just, it's everything. I've been watching Florida State games since I was a little kid. My cousin played at Florida State. I remember being 7, 8 years old. My dad used to show me this video. He showed me this video one time on YouTube. It was like a highlight mixtape of Warwick Dunn, Dion, Peter Ward, and my cousin. And I kid you not, I watched the video probably like 5 times every single day for about 3-4 years. Like the song on the highlight video, I know it word for word. Now it's one of my favorite songs ever. I just watched that video, man, and I kind of knew then. I was like, I want to play at Florida State. Like it's just something different than the tomahawk chop. Like I've been so invested in this for such a long time, man. It means everything to me. And with the great quarterbacks that have played at Florida State, with Charlie Ward, Chris Winkie, Jameis. I kind of look at it for me like, you know, Kobe with the Lakers. Like there've been greats that played before Kobe, but, you know, he has to go up there and he has to, you know, build his own legacy, which he did. And the way I envision my career playing out at FSU, man, I want to be looked at as the best quarterback to come through Florida State. You know, it's been some great ones. I want to look at myself and be considered the best to ever come through. I want to win Heismans. I want to win national championships. I don't want to lose. So whenever I think of, you know, how I want my career to play, I want it to be nothing but great things. And I want to just make an impact and leave no doubt whenever I leave that, hey, he came in and he did something that we've never seen before. So, yeah.
What does Florida State got to do to get T-Buck back in tally?
Man, I don't know. That's a Coach Norvell question. I'm not so sure. You know,
we've had T-Buck on here, and but he was still at Mississippi State, but he did his recruiting a lot in Tallahassee. But he did mention, he said he's no-blooded. It's in our intro of the podcast. He's no-blooded.
Yeah.
You know, he said a lot of positive
T-Buck.
things about Florida State.
Yeah, people don't know this, but back when I was, you know, when I dropped my top 8, he was talking to my dad, you know, a lot, and he was just like, man, like Florida State, man, like, and this was back when he was at Ole Miss. He was like, Florida State, like I'm not gonna tell him what to do, you know, as far as his decision, but I know I really love it if he was in an FSU uniform. So he's been nothing but supportive, man. And you know, with me being a Florida State commit now, and our whole family on that side of the family, they've been showing a lot of love and things like that. So, yeah, it's been awesome, man. It's been awesome.
So that Michigan game, I was like 12 years old.
Yeah.
And I remember I was watching it with Michigan people, and when he picked that pass off, I think that's the first time I really was like talking legit smack talk.
Yeah.
To people who I've never met before.
Yeah.
Doing the hollering when he picked that pass off.
Yeah. I've watched that video a lot of times with him picking it off. I think he caught it on Desmond Howard when he picked it off, and just making a big play, man. That's when you come to Florida State, you got to make those type of plays to be considered a legend. And you know, he did those things. So hopefully I can get up there and, you know, second that.
Carol's asking on here, are you enrolling early? Do you plan on early enrolling to Florida State?
I do plan. I will be enrolling early. Around this time next year, I'll already be in Tallahassee. I've been ahead of my classes since freshman year. I was taking high school classes in 8th grade. My dad was he saw before I did. So, you know, I've always been in advanced classes, knocking classes out and things like that. And it's starting to come to an end for me. My senior year next year, I have a real smooth schedule, pretty much just, you know, playing football and getting ready to get to Tallahassee. So, I'll be enrolling early. I'll be an early graduate. And, I'll be in Tallahassee come January.
When did you know that you were going to, like, truly know that you were going to play in the next level? When did it come together for you that, hey, this is going to be a real thing for me?
Oh man, that's a good question. For me, like football, ever since I was 6 years old, like it's always kind of felt easy to me. So like, I kind of just, you know, envision myself like, hey, I'm better than these guys. And then people used to be like, well, when you get to middle school, it's not gonna be that easy. So I'd be like, okay, bet. And I'll just work my tail off and just train. And my dad would have me working out, and he'll get me with the right people, and then I'll get to middle school, and then boom. And then they're like, oh, when you get to high school, it's going to be tougher and things like that. And I just continue to put in work, and then, you know, here we are now. So I feel like I kind of knew I was going to be able to play at the next level when I was in like 7th, 8th grade. That's kind of when it kind of hit me, when I was like, hey, if I keep putting in the work and doing the right things, offers are going to start rolling in. And my freshman year, freshman on varsity, I was at Duncanville High School. That's unheard of. You know, at Duncanville, there's so many kids, man. There's so much talent. If you're a freshman playing JV, that's super impressive. So for me to be a freshman on varsity, a good friend of mine, Lontrell Turner, him and I, we were the first 2 freshmen to ever be on varsity at Duncanville. So people were kind of taking notice, like, whoa. And then we used to blow teams out, and I used to come in and play the whole second half, and I used to go in and do my thing. And, you know, it started, you know, buzzing around like, hey, this guy's going to be something special. And then The game I kind of blew up was, semifinal game, starting quarterback got hurt, second quarter, I had to come in and lead us to victory. And that night I got offered as soon as I got home by Kansas. And then the next week played in the state championship game, Illinois State rolled in. Then I got Iowa like 2 weeks later. And after that, it's been rolling ever since. So I kind of always had it in the back of my mind that, I could play at the next level one day, just, with me, getting better throughout the years and, my competition, feeling the same almost throughout the years and things like that. But it kind of felt more real whenever I got that first offer. So I'm a blessed individual, man, and I'm just happy to be in this position. I'm just going to keep working hard.
I wanted to ask, you've developed a friendship with Jordan Travis.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a relationship with AJ Duffy as well. And, if all goes as expected, both of those guys will be back this season. You're going to be a true freshman. So just how excited are you to work with them and compete with them once you do get to Florida State?
I'm excited, man. Both two great players. I'm excited, once I get to Florida State, I'm excited to go in and compete and learn and just be the best person I can be day in and day out. Jordan, he has a lot of experience, being in Coach Norvell's offense. AJ's there now. He graduated early so he could, learn and things like that. So I'm looking forward to, getting there, competing and, being the best player I can be day in and day out.
So I got a question. Yeah, I got lots of questions.
You never do.
Third and 15.
Mm-hmm.
Game's on the line. What's your call? What are you calling?
That's a good question. It's so many plays.
Don't tell me whatever the coach says. What do you want? Like what? We're like, all right, I got this.
Man, that's a good question. Probably, drive concept, outside receiver, big post, probably got a dig from the inside, backside, inside receiver with a drag, backside, outside receiver probably with a comeback and probably like 17 coming back to 15. That was one of my favorite concepts, my freshman year. And that was actually the concept I threw my first touchdown on. I kind of talked to Coach Tokarz about that whenever I was there. I like that concept a lot. 4 verticals, depending on the coverage, you can always make that work and things like that. And so those probably the main two. In my offense here at Ravenwood, we got a lot of good plays drawing up and things like that. So, it's so many plays you can use, but probably the drive concept, reading the safety and things like that. And then 4 verticals, I feel like those will probably be 2 that'll be good for 3rd and 15 for sure.
Mm-hmm. So a question from Taylor asking, Chris, what player inspires you the most?
That's a really good question. What player? I would probably have to say Russell Wilson, with his talent on the field and the way he carries himself as well. He's another guy that studied Kobe so much. And I've tried my best to learn from him as much as I could. Just looking at his workout videos, hopping on his podcast, listening to him talk with other greats. He used to Danger Rush talk or something like that on YouTube. I used to tune into that and try to learn from him, man. And, with him being a Christian guy, man of faith, and, being in the NFL, he's inspired me a lot. And so I try my best, study him and things like that. And so definitely Russell Wilson. I could also say Kyler Murray, with Kyler Murray, being, arguably one of the greatest greatest high school football players ever, never losing a game. I kind of, whenever I first got to high school, I kind of wanted to, just kind of envision myself like being like Kyler, playing the state championship, winning state championships. Unfortunately, I lost whenever I got there, but just being in that moment, and realizing that Kyler Murray did, especially at his height at 5'10", that's something that's definitely inspired me for sure.
Mm-hmm. We lost Nate. Nate had all the questions, I thought. I thought Nate had all the questions.
He's back. He's back.
There's plenty in the chat for you to pull up.
What they talking about in the chat?
I'm back.
There's a ton that you can go and answer this NIL one, because I think this is pretty big right now with all this stuff going on. But how about NIL to you, Chris? How much, this is still fresh to you. It's fresh to everybody. But how much does NIL play a factor in your recruiting?
In my recruiting, it plays a big factor, but I mean, no school can sway me with money. I mean, I know where I know where I want to be. So as far as NIL, I'm only talking to Florida State about NILs, and I've been discussing this with my family, and they've been helping me out a lot with this, because it's about to be here, soon enough, and so we've just been trying to learn and things like that, so I can make the best decisions for myself and put myself in the right positions and things like that, and do what's best for me. As far as recruiting plays a really big role in recruiting now, as far as players and things like that. It's the name of the game now. College players are allowed to make money off their name, image, and likeness. So I feel like it's going to play a big role in recruiting, especially with getting players and things like that. It's changed the game tremendously. As far as NIL for me though, as far as getting swayed to another school, it doesn't affect me at all. But I'm just with the people, my circle in Florida State, just trying to do what's best for me.
It's about time though that kids in college get a chance to
absolutely
to make money, because it's so regulated. They can't work when they're in season and all this stuff. It's about time that
exactly
that players that play in these big time programs that make hundreds of millions of dollars can make a little bit of money in order to support themselves.
Exactly. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, man. And the universities, they make a lot of money, with fans, paying tickets, and things like that to come watch us play. So I think it's only right that we get a portion of that as well.
Mm-hmm. Question on here from Mendoza asking, any former FSU player that you're looking forward to meeting that you haven't interacted with yet? And I think there's a few of them. I think you got a lot of them. I think.
Yeah, I do. I do have a lot.
Long list.
Yeah. Probably the first one on my list is Jameis. Jameis for sure. He was kind of the guy that for me being a young kid, I didn't get to actually watch Charlie Ward play. I didn't get to actually watch Chris Winkie play, and so it kind of for me it went Christian Ponder, EJ Manuel, and then Jameis. Jameis was the one to bring Florida State to a national championship and things like that. So he was kind of the one that I looked up to a lot whenever I was growing up and things like that. So for sure, Jameis. I've been in contact with Charlie Ward a lot lately. I was blessed to get his number earlier this week, and he's been a great mentor for me already so far. We've texted almost every single day. He's giving me words of advice and just us chopping it up, just talking and having a regular conversation. It's been great. DeAndre Francois, I met DeAndre when I came to a Florida State camp when I was in 7th grade. And then I came the next year, and then he remembered me. And then after that, we just connected on Instagram. I ended up getting a follow back in 8th grade. And, he's just been a great mentor to me, man. He helps me out with a lot of things, just giving me advice and telling me about Florida State and things like that and what he enjoyed and things like that. So, I've had a good relationship with DeAndre, but as far as, a player that I haven't met yet that I want to interact with, Jameis for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give a shout out to all the Miami Hurricane fans that are
in the comments.
In the comments, trying
there
to,
you go.
Trying
to do the recruiting here
do
live
whatever.
For you.
We already addressed that, Alice.
Yeah, you gotta back up the YouTube. You gotta back up the YouTube stream and hear what Chris said.
Come to Miami. I like to have to talk with the QB coach first. They don't have one. Never mind.
Damn, Alice. Tough scenes. Well, we usually have, Miami fans usually don't have anything to do because they're not usually at the school that they're fans for. So they come onto YouTube lives and rile everybody up. But it's good. It adds up the view.
I'll decline. Yeah,
I'm here for the analytics, baby. Keep bumping it up. But make sure you hit the like button though first before you.
Who's the right now? Because targets change. Guys shoot up onto the radar. All that stuff happens. It's a long cycle. But who are 3 guys you really want to see join the Tribe 23? Who do you want to come play with you?
Jaylen Brown, Santana Fleming, Hakeem Williams, 3 big-time receivers. When you look at Jameis when he won a national championship, he had guys around him that could make plays. He had Kelvin Benjamin, Rashad Green. He had guys like Kermit Whitfield, Travis Rudolph, and things like that. So, and then including the linemen, man, you can't even forget about the linemen. We got a good group of linemen in the class of 2022. I'm looking to do the same thing for 2023. But Jaylen Brown, Santana Fleming, Hakeem Williams, Tyler Williams, those they know what the deal is, man. For us to do something special, if they want to do something special, Florida State is the place to be. I want to play with those guys. I've been recruiting them heavy. I've been doing my part. And now it's just up to them to make the decision. So
Jaylen Brown is Jamar Chase 2.0.
Man, straight beast.
No, he is, man. Like
he's special.
If y'all haven't watched his highlight film, man, like he's special.
Go check out Jaylen's highlights from this past season. It's incredible, man. He's a great talent for sure, and I want to play with him. He knows that, so yeah.
And you're being a Florida State guy. Someone asked about like who do you want? Who inspires you? I don't know if you ever watched Dustin's highlight film, man. When he was in high school, man. That is some top flight film, man.
Oh yeah,
what highlight film?
You were warming up the left side of the bench against.
They put me in every now and then. I got some quality reps. They deleted my Huddle account, but it is what it is.
They deleted it. Black and white.
Sticking with Tribe 23.
He's switching it quick.
That's funny.
I'm talking here. Chris, we've talked about it, being your time up now, going into your senior season.
Yep.
What gives you the confidence to be this bell cow, to be this leader of Tribe 23?
Just understanding what I bring to the table. I feel like I'm the example that's gonna get players, to want to come here. I'm not gonna BS around. I wouldn't lie or shoot any of those guys BS just to get them to come to my school. Whenever I'm talking to them, I'm sincere. I'm dead serious. I want to win, and I know in order to win, you have to have a great coaching staff, which they already have at Florida State, and great players. And for us to win games, we need players to come in and make a difference. We saw that when we got great guys in the class of 2022. Coach Norvell and the staff, they did a great job recruiting, and I want to keep this thing rolling with the class of 2023. I know what I bring to the table, and I just want guys to come join me that that are special players that I know that can make a big difference. So that's been my pitch. I'm not here to play games. I want to come in. I want to win. I want to make a difference. So that's what the deal is. And yeah, that's pretty much it right there.
I'm interested to get your thoughts real quick on the transfer portal.
Yeah,
it's kind of changed the game for college and for recruiting.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that whole thing?
I feel like everybody right now, they're just trying to do what's best for them, and the transfer portal as far as like schools and things like that, it's been a blessing and a curse for certain schools. For Florida State, it's kind of been a blessing. We've got a lot of great players, especially at the receiver position, and so but yeah, I feel like it's just bunch of people just trying to do what's best for them. Maybe they're not in the best situation at their college or whatever the case may be. As far as high school players, it has changed the game. I know guys who are really talented at the high school level who aren't getting as recruited as they probably deserve to be because coaches are deciding hey, I can get this player to come in who's experienced, who's played college football for 2 years, and he can come in and make a difference right now instead of having to develop a player and things like that. But everyone's situation is different. It's impacted a lot of lives and things like that, and a lot of careers and things like that. But I just think it's a big mixture of everyone trying to do what's best for themselves, or as far as coaches and things like that, what's best for their program. So yeah, it's been hectic. I can't lie. It's almost like free agency and things like that. So for me, watching from the outside, it's been kind of entertaining, but at the same time, it's a serious matter, and it's played a big role in college football.
Yeah, Chris, you down to watch a little film to kind of
end
this
sure.
off?
Yeah, let's do
it. Through some plays a little bit. It might be a little choppy at first.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
We'll see how it comes through. But this is from your junior highlight film on Huddle.
Yep. It's a little choppy. That's good now. This play right here, this was the first play of the season. That first touchdown you guys saw. That was the first
play. Wow.
That was the first play of the season, my first pass of the season. First
pass at Ravenwood.
Yeah, first pass at Ravenwood, touchdown. Crazy moment. I'll never forget that moment, man. The crowd was so loud. It was hype, man. I felt like I was back in Texas, man. The student section was going crazy. It was awesome, man. So, but yeah, we made a lot of good plays this year. Had great teammates around me.
Who's 7? We got to shout out 7's name.
7.
That first touchdown.
Blake Irvin. That's my dog. Blake Irvin, man. Real talented. He's about to catch a touchdown right here, too. Super talented guy. Super smart guy. I enjoy playing with him. One of my closest teammates. I enjoy playing with him for sure.
He gets open, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He gets open.
No doubt.
Really try.
So, I know you're getting ready to leave us, but I got one more question.
What's up?
Boneless or bone in?
Bone in. Bone in for sure. Bone
in.
Thank you.
I
can't. My brother's a boneless guy. I can't do boneless. Like you're basically just eating a big chicken nugget at that point. A fried chicken tender. You know what I mean? I like the bone in. It makes it feel like an actual wing, not just skin. I guess.
Well, Dustin and I are about to change the game. We're boneless buddies. So
boneless buddies.
Couldn't
talk.
Yeah, I couldn't. Nah.
Nah, we ain't joining that. Trust me.
I couldn't do that.
Happening.
Nah.
We're gonna get you a shirt, man. Come on.
A shirt. Talk about this play right here real quick, because this one you were able to hang on to this one for a while, and you ended up throwing this, which I did not see this coming.
Yeah, this was a crazy play. It was 14-14 at this point. I think it was like 3 minutes left in the game. Offensively, we had been struggling the whole night. We had been shooting ourselves in the foot, and then defense stepped up big time throughout that game. We needed to score. We had a play called. I just rolled to the left. It kind of wasn't open. Then I saw Lee. He was open, but he turned around to break off his route, and I just wanted to extend the play. As I'm close by the sideline, my head coach was yelling at me. He was just like, "Throw it away, throw it away, throw it away." And I could literally hear him right there telling me to throw it away, but I saw Lee Mollett last minute. He just signed yesterday at UConn. Talented player, man. Loves playing with him. He's super smart. He knows where to get. He knows how to get open. I saw him. I believed in him. Gave him a shot, and as you see, he made the toe tap.
Yeah, he's got toe tap.
Yeah, toe tap. Got both feet in. Caught it. And was just so calm about it, man. He's such a great player, man. I enjoy playing with him, man. So I'm gonna miss him next year, but yeah, that was a crazy play, man. We needed that play. That play right there saved our season for sure. First round.
Yeah, I'm sure the coaches were, patting that helmet after.
Oh yeah, it was one of those like what are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh yeah.
And then good play.
But don't ever do it again.
Don't do it again.
It was one of those. It was one of those moments, but
you're keeping
done. We made it happen.
You're keeping on balance here. I forget the frame right there. I mean, you're setting back up. You're getting off of your
the dude tried
leg.
to trip me. Yeah, he tried to trip me.
I see.
And so I just.
But you're able to. So you're like this.
Yeah.
You're switching quick. Switch. Boom. Look at that.
Yeah, man.
You have your back leg footing down, and you're just back to if you were back in the pocket.
I've worked that. That's the thing, man. With my trainer back in Dallas, just them being chaos in the pocket. And just seeing somebody open, having to get set quick and deliver a strike, and my hard work that it showed right there on that tape, man. It's just that's what it is, man. I've just been working hard, and a lot of the things that you guys see on tape, I've practiced those things, and that's why whenever you see the tape or you watch the game, it just feels natural to me. So, but yeah,
that ability has to be there for, in my opinion, quarterbacks. On the next level, especially the pros.
Absolutely.
You got to be able to throw at any angle. Got to be able. You got to be able to adjust. You got to be able to. Not gonna be able to step into every throw. You got to be able to.
Right. Yeah, I've been.
You got to be able to create.
Right. I've been working on that since my freshman year. My trainer kind of saw it before me. He was like, "Yo, by the time you get to the league, man, these guys are gonna be super athletic, man. It's not gonna be the same old 7-step drop." Sit in the clean pocket, deliver the ball. So, I've been working on that, and it's starting to. You look at guys like Aaron Donald now. Like Aaron Donald, he's insane. no quarterback, whenever you're playing against the Rams, you're going to just be sitting there in a clean pocket, especially with Von Miller on the other side. So being mobile, being able to make plays and make, weird throws at weird times and things like that with people grabbing you or people in your face or getting hit, taking a shot, it's all a part of the game, man. So I've been working on that, getting ready for the next level. And so yeah.
You're a Rams fan because I saw you starting to mention. You were just about to mention the whole roster there on the team there.
Yeah,
good. But
yeah, I'm a Rams fan.
Super Bowl. You've got Cam Akers, you've got Jalen, of course, and on the other side you've got Auden Tate. But how you feel about the Rams going into this one?
I'm pretty confident in the Rams. I feel like that defense, man. It's deadly, man. You got, like I said, Von Miller. You got Aaron Donald. Then you got my guy Jalen Ramsey playing corner, man. That's a great matchup. That's a great lineup. Eric Weddle, he's came in out of retirement and been balling. So, but yeah, man, I don't see them losing. I'm a pretty big Joe Burrow fan now. I love watching him play. But I don't think him and Chase. I don't think they have enough to beat the Rams as far as the Rams being great on offense and defense. And so. But yeah, I'm excited to see that play out. We got to wait another week, but I'm excited to watch that game for sure.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Any other question? I know Jen's asking here.
What is your major?
When you get to college, what do you want to study? Have you figured that out?
Yeah, broadcast journalism, communications. That's something I love to write, so I feel like that'll be right up my alley. And kind of like you guys writing articles, things like that. I kind of wanted to do that ever since I was younger. Watching First Take and doing research on Stephen A. Smith, seeing how he started off as a writer and things like that. So that's always been something I wanted to do. And then, working on ESPN or something like that, that'll be perfect for me, being able to write, talk about sports at the same time. That's two birds with one stone. So that's something I definitely want to do. When I visited a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to, the people, that are over the education. And they were kind of, giving me insights and things like that, talking to my family about that. They talked about that last time when I visited in June as well. So we got a pretty good plan. They understand what I want to do once I get to Florida State, and they're already working on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're always looking for writers, so hit my line.
Hey, and then with us doing the journal now, man, it's starting to all.
I know Dustin's already working you in there. Trust me.
Yeah, Dustin's
man, it's reeling you in.
It's
reeling you in for content.
I asked Dustin where you got the idea from.
Where you get the idea from, Dustin?
I had it in my own head before I even met
him. No.
For sure.
He just happened to have the same idea, and then we met at some point.
Oh, okay.
I'm the originator.
Just ironic.
I did it with Lonnie Pryor back when he was a senior.
Okay.
It's fun though because it gives people a little inside view. Kids at your level of ball and things that you're going through, it gets a little inside view of what you experience.
I like that. It's almost like with YouTubers like vlogging. It's kind of like that for me in the way that I want to do it with writing and things like that. So it's been awesome, and I guess I'm considered a Florida State writer now before I'm a Florida State quarterback.
You got your own profile and everything. You got a picture on there too. I mean, damn.
Dope, man. We're doing the thing, man. We're doing it, bro. That's
got another one coming out in a couple weeks. So
we're gonna have one coming out for the month of February. We're just gonna keep this thing rolling, man. It was fun doing it, for the month of January and things like that. And we're gonna keep this thing rolling all the way until December, and then January once I get to Florida State. So y'all stay tuned for that, and it should be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, y'all definitely go check it out. It's on our website. If you just search on Google whenever the podcast ends, Chris Parson SI, really, it should come up pretty early on there.
Yep.
But I was putting your IG on here. If you want to shout out any kind of socials,
go
follow the
man.
IG.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram, man. Y'all see the tag right there. 9.1K. I'm trying to get to 10K, man. So, FSU fans, y'all see it. Y'all go holler at me, man. So yeah, I'm just.
Should I bring this up? Hold up. Is that pause?
Yeah.
Did I pause it? Yeah. There was Max Preps. They put out their top 10 in the country. And they that seems like they got a lot of work to do. They got some changing to do.
They say this, they say that. We're gonna see.
Are you gonna try for Elite 11? Are you gonna do that camp?
Yes, sir. I'll be there. I've been training for that. that's part of the reason why I'm not playing baseball or basketball this year. Just training for that. I'm just doing track this off season, so I'll be running track and then just training for the Elite 11. That's what I've been on, just quarterback training, things like that. Changing my diet, eating better, eating healthier, working out 2-3 times a day. Had track workouts this afternoon after school. In the mornings and things like that. I get up, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm at the school at 5:40, working out with my teammates. Then, after school, we'll have track workouts. The receivers and I will stay after track and we'll throw routes with each other and things like that. Then I'll go after that workout, take some time off, knock out some homework. 7 o'clock, I'm back with my speed and agility trainer, working out in the gym and things like that. So we've been putting in work. That post that y'all put up there with the top 10 quarterbacks, stuff like that.
Motivation.
That's why I'm working. That's exactly why I'm working. Sure enough, time's gonna tell. It's gonna be a point where everything's gonna be laid out in front of everybody for the world to see, and the real's gonna prevail. So that's all I got on that.
I gotta step away real quick, but I gotta ask this. We get kind of some flack by FSU fans because some of our podcast visitors, we've had some guys decommit from FSU. So you're gonna break that streak. That's our batting courage.
Yeah, for the streak's gonna be broken, man. People like I see that a lot on Twitter. They like to mention, former guys that were committed to Florida State decommitting and things like that. I don't think any of the guys that were committed to Florida State or the guys that decommitted have been as bought in that I've been. Like, this isn't just something like, oh, I got recruited, I got offered by Florida State, I got recruited, I'm committing, I'm gonna take my official visit. Like, this has been my life since like a kid. Like my bed sheets, like my actual blanket is a Florida State blanket. Like my room in 6th grade was garnet and gold. Like I had my mom actually had my room painted garnet with gold letters written around my room. Like I've been bought into this since I was a kid. This isn't just something that I just woke up one day and was like, oh, I'm a Florida State fan. Like, no, I've had family play here. I've cried because of losses. I remember being 10 years old crying because we lost in the Rose Bowl to Oregon and Marcus Mariota. Like this is something I've been bought into. I remember the highs. I remember the lows. I remember everything, man. So
I do too, Chris. That game was ugly.
Yeah, I don't think any commit has been as bought in as I've been. Like when I made my decision to commit, like that was it. Like that's what it is. Like there's no flipping. The schools that I got offered by 2 schools like last week or something like that. I let them know. I reiterated to them. My head coach reiterated to them like he'll accept the offer, just out of being respectful and things like that. I don't want to be an a-hole, but at the same time, since they offered me, I haven't talked to any of those coaches since. Like it was just, that's what it was. So they understand what the deal is, and they know I'm coming to Florida State.
I don't want to interrupt you or anything, but I also think it's irritating. I think it would be irritating on your point, and I know you probably won't say it, but it'd be irritating to me if I can just say, hey, this is something huge for me. I'm getting offered from these colleges across the whole country. That's something that I would at least like to share and say that I did that. That's an accomplishment for me. Yeah. I'm not going over there and committing. I'm not leaving. I'm just sharing something that's probably very special to me, not only special to you, but your family, the ones that support you, your trainers, your coaches, everybody. It's fair that you can share that. I know social media nowadays, oh my God, he can't share a picture or share that he's been offered by another college, God forbid.
Yeah, it's a blessing. It's a blessing, man. It's just a testament of all the hard work that I've put in and all the hard work that I'm going to continue to put in. That's basically what Coach Norvell, said to me when I was on the phone. Like once I got the 2 offers, I let Coach Norvell know, I let Coach Atkins know, and I let Coach Tokarz know, like, hey, these schools offered me, and I don't want to like rub any of you guys like the wrong way, but I'm just going to post, out of respect for them. They were 100% understanding. They were supportive of me getting the offers because they understand what I've been through, throughout my high school career. Coach Norvell, he knows my story. He was scouting me my freshman year. Him and Coach Dillingham started recruiting me my sophomore year when I transferred to Ravenwood. I got offered in the summer, and like 3 weeks later, I ended up visiting Florida State. So like this is something, I've had a great relationship with the coaches super supportive. They understood. As long as they understand it, as long as my family's in the loop and the coaches and the trainers that are in my circle, that's all that matters, man. So, but yeah, like I said, those coaches, they understand what the deal is. They call my head coach. He lets them know he understands how committed I am to Florida State. This is where I want to be. That's it. Yeah, that's where I want to be. Florida State's where I want to play for. I don't want to play for any other program, and they understand that. And it's not about disrespect or anything like that. It's just this is the way I've pictured my life since I was a kid, and it's all coming full circle and it's all happening. So it's just it's what it is, man. And I'm just soaking it all in. Yeah, I'm just blessed to be in this position.
Yeah. Anything else from you or you, VZ?
I think that's it. I mean, we've had Chris. Chris, you've been here for nearly an hour. I just want to say, thanks again.
And I even felt like it, really.
Thank y'all, man. I love doing stuff like this. I listen to podcasts like all the time. Like I've really gotten into podcasts like during this year. Because I feel like every time I hop on a podcast, I learn something, with the people I've listened to. So for me to be a part of a podcast, it's fun. So I love doing things like this. So when you guys wanted to get me back on, we tried to do it last week or 2 weeks ago. My schedule got messed up, and then luckily with the snow and things like that, my workouts tonight got canceled, and so school got canceled. So I'm just here chilling, man. I have nothing else to do except for watch movies and play video games. So
tonight.
Yeah, this was the perfect night, man. I'm glad I hopped on, man. I'm appreciative of y'all, man. Just helping me, putting my name out there, posting things like that, and for Florida State fans to see. So thank y'all, bro. Thank y'all, especially Dustin and Logan, man. I talk to y'all often, so appreciate y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. I'm glad you got to come on here and talk some Noles and also talk about answer some big time questions that the YouTube chat was able to give you, and some good stuff there, and talk about family and the family. The big thing about you is family, and not only at Florida State but along with the ones that are in that house right now.
That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to come to Florida State. Coach Norvell, he reminds me a lot of my dad. With the way that he let me know that he was going to be tough on me and push me to be the best Chris Parson that I can be. That's something that I get from my dad every single day, man. He doesn't let me BS. He's super tough on me, super hard on me. Sometimes I don't like it, but he's just molding me to be the best person I can be every day. So I see that a lot with Coach Norvell. So once I saw that connection right there, I knew this was somewhere that was gonna help me, reach my goals and achieve my dreams.
That's the same thing I have to do with my son Dustin every day. So and it's not
I'm
working.
Older than you, fool.
I can tell you, it's not working. It's not working, Chris. I got a long ways to
go with this funny, bro. You funny, man.
No, but Chris, appreciate you hopping on here, and you want to be here without if we didn't have Dustin, so I got to give recognition to Dustin.
Man, Dustin is the GOAT, man. We talk.
D-Lou is the GOAT.
My dog, man. That's my guy.
That's my guy right there. And Chris, I just want to say, always a class act, man, and I'm glad the fan base is starting to realize they got something special coming in.
Yeah, appreciate y'all, man.
Nate, anything from you before he hops off so he can play some video games? Enjoy his 3-day weekend.
He needs to go call Coach Tokarz first.
Yeah, man.
When I hop on, I'm hitting up Coach Tokarz for sure. He probably was listening.
He's probably watching.
I'm gonna hit him up for sure.
Yeah,
he just texted me. He just texted me 2 minutes ago.
Tell him I said text me back.
That's my dog, man. He probably still on here if he just texted me. He probably just heard you say that. But Coach Tokarz, that's my guy, man. Man, that's my dog, man. Nothing but great things to say about him, and I can't wait to play for him. That's my guy.
All thing I say has been, congrats on all the success so far, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Excited to, have a kid that's got his stuff straight. Knows what he wants to do, and the most important position on the field of football. Got to have that person who wants to be the unquestioned leader. So
yes, sir.
It's great to see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm sure we'll have you back on here a few times in the future.
For sure. And anytime, man. I love doing this stuff, man. Anytime, man.
The only way I'll advocate for you, though, is if you come to Team Boneless.
Come where?
Team Boneless.
No.
Man.
No, don't fall for it, Chris.
That's a work in progress. You're going to have to recruit me. You gotta put your best pitch in for me to join that.
That's easy. That's easy.
Tribe 10 piece or something.
Yeah, the 10-piece of the Tennessee.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, Chris, let's get you out of here. Appreciate you hopping on. We'll be in touch soon.
Thank y'all, man.
Get you on
Thank
back
y'all.
soon for sure.
For sure. Go Noles, man. Appreciate all the love and support from the fans. Go Noles, baby.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
See you, Chris.
All right,
Later,
bro.
Chris.
I'll see y'all.
Well, that was great. Chris, always a great interview. Always a great interview on here. I mean, he answers longer than NFL players do. Very
That was probably
what he
top
talks
3
about.
longest interviews we've ever had on here this year, I would assume.
Yeah. No, he gives a lot of information always, which I love.
I was going to say, I enjoy that because he really gives you a good inside look into what's going on and, what he thinks about these new promotions with Coach Tokarz, Coach Atkins, and how he personally is involved with
PZ's not good.
trying to build this 2023 class.
Dog, I am tired.
You're on a losing streak.
Has your screen been frozen, or have you been here the whole time?
I've been here.
Easy's
Didn't have any questions for Chris tonight?
He's still depressed from this.
I'm still mentally. I'm still in Atlanta because that's where I was last week.
Oh God, that sucks.
Yeah, I'm still mentally in Atlanta.
No hate to Atlanta people that live there. I'm sorry.
No,
you've done a lot of driving.
He's still trying to figure out what went wrong.
Yeah.
No, just to recap, my last 8 days, I was in Atlanta for 3 days covering the FSU Georgia Tech game. Stayed there to work at the store I work for does open a location in Atlanta, so I stayed there to work there for a couple of days. Drove back to Charlotte, worked there for a few days. Went to the Clemson game last night. Drove back last night. So it's been a heck of an 8 days. I've seen enough of I-85 in South Carolina to last me the rest of my life.
Nice.
What's that, like a 2-hour drive?
It's depending on traffic, 2.5 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
It was raining last night too.
I-85 is the worst.
It's terrible, man.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do terrible things every time I'm on I-85.
Oh my God, Jesus! I'm never on there with you while you're driving. Jesus Christ, kamikaze.
It's bad. It's always under construction, and it's 50-mile-an-hour speed limits.
It's like I-4.
It's worse than I-4. At least I-4 is 3 lanes.
That's tough. Well, let's jump into it because we just had an hour-long interview, so we got to kind of run through these nice and swiftly.
12-0, move on.
The 12-0, looking at the schedule here. Florida State finally released. You start off with the Dukes on August 27th. That's week 0, by the way. If everybody's counting, that's week 0. Florida State will be facing off then. Then they go and face in a neutral, in quote, neutral site game in New Orleans against LSU. And then we really get the good stuff here. So Florida State goes on a bye week on September 10th. On September 16th, after that bye, they go to Louisville. The week after that, on September 24th, they face the Boston College Eagles and Doak Campbell Stadium. Then comes the fun stretch here. Wake Forest on October 1st at home in Doak, and then you travel to NC State on October 8th, and then you come back home to Doak on October 15th, and you face Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers. After that, you have a bye week on October 22nd. And then that's your last bye week before facing Georgia Tech and Doak on October 29th. And then you've got the Miami Hurricanes on November 5th in Hard Rock Stadium. And then the last 3 games are Syracuse. You go up to Syracuse on November 12th. You face the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, Billy Napier's former team, in Doak Campbell Stadium on November 19th. And then to finish it off, a weird one here, a very weird one. I'm not sure how I feel about this one yet. A Friday night game against the Florida Gators in Doak Campbell Stadium. Twitter was going crazy earlier this week about it. I'm still unsure how I feel. But gentlemen, how do we feel about the schedule overall? What alarms you? Does anything alarm you?
There's not one definite losable game on this schedule this year. That includes Clemson. And I think we saw that last year. So, the last 3 years, you could circle 1, 2, 3, 4 that were probable losses. I don't think that game is on this schedule. I think you have 5 to 6 that I think Florida State should have in the bag pretty easily. I say that with, looking at the schedule on paper. The schedule never really is what it is. It's either, hey, this is tough, or turns out not to be so tough, or this is an easy schedule, and teams have, they make a jump and the schedule gets hard. So you really don't know until you head into fall camp. But I think that on paper, this is a schedule that Florida State can win 7 or 8 games in the regular season and get to a decent bowl and have a chance for 8 or 9 wins after a bowl game. So there's not one surefire loss on the schedule for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's pretty favorable for Florida State, all things considered.
And it sets up nicely. You don't have you have a tough stretch. Sorry, Dustin.
No, you're good.
You have Clemson, Wake, and NC State. That's going to be the 3-game stretch that really, dictates what happens with this season. But again, I think it sets up well.
Yeah, like you said, really the toughest 3-game stretch is Wake Forest traveling to NC State and then playing Clemson. But I do think, you get Wake, Clemson, and UF at home, 3 of the toughest teams on your schedule.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to help out a lot. I think the bye weeks come at pretty good times. You're off before you travel to Louisville. That game's going to be on a Friday night, so Louisville will be playing on a short week. And then you're off after Clemson, which is probably going to be a pretty physical game.
It was last
time, I would
time.
imagine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
there were a lot of guys dinged up after that game.
And Wake Forest,
you don't play back-to-back road games until November.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, I mean, it's a pretty favorable schedule. I'm not going to say 12-0 like Nate, but
Wake Forest plays Clemson the week before they play FSU. So, and as Dustin just said and Logan reiterated, Florida State and Clemson beat the heck out of each other last year. Each team walked out of that game banged up. So,
yeah,
they get a chance to have some recovery. Georgia Tech should be, a team that's going to struggle next year. And then, I'm really excited about going down to Doak South and getting another W down there. I'm going to say 78-2 right now.
Against Miami?
Yeah, 78-2 right now.
Hard to play if you don't have coaches.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, for me, you're looking at, probably 4 to 5 for sure wins between Duquesne, Boston College, Syracuse, Louisiana. That's 4 for sure
Miami.
wins. Yeah, and then you can argue Georgia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
If you find a way to split the rest, I feel like a lot of fans would be pretty happy with an 8-4 this season. Just given the way the last few years have gone. But at the same time, you kind of have to be cautious because we come into the last few seasons thinking, oh yeah, this is the year. Got to be a little bit cautious to see how they actually play on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it's right or wrong, and I think we can all, I think we all feel the same. Florida State, they got to win this year. Like we just talked about with Chris. These recruits they want to seriously look at Florida State, but FSU's got to take that next step on the field. They got to make a bowl game. They got to. They got to make it happen this year.
And I don't even
the
think
schedule sets up nicely
for a lot of fans. I don't even think just getting to a bowl game is enough. I think
they got to get 8 wins.
7. That's it. You got to get at least 7 this year for to at least give some fans a peace of mind.
7 in the regular season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you get to 8-4 in the regular season, I think almost every fan would be satisfied with that. The way the last few years have gone.
And
that leads up. That
leads
far
off
into
last
good.
year.
Yeah.
Sorry, Logan.
No, you're good.
Yeah, had Travis not gotten hurt with Florida, you're looking at 6-6.
Or if you just defend the Hail Mary against.
Not only bring it up. Don't even bring it up.
Not even Hail Mary. If you defend the 4 verticals.
Yeah. We'll move on here from this because there's still quite a bit to talk about. Player interviews this week. We got to hear from some newcomers, including AJ Duffy, Sam McCall, Azaria Thomas also, which was a great interview. Sam McCall, I think the biggest thing to take away from these guys, they were kind of a little bit more short. These guys are newcomers coming in, so still getting used to the media, so some short answers. But number one thing from Sam McCall, he said he's going to be starting at corner. Coach Woodson wants him over at corner, not safety. How do you guys feel, D-Lou and Nate, on that, him getting over there and getting some corner PT right away, coming in as a freshman?
I personally thought that he was going to come in at safety, so it's a little, I don't want to say surprising, but I wasn't expecting to see him and Thomas both start off at corner, but I'm not a coach, so.
I think that like Dustin, I'm a little surprised, but I understand it. You know, the kid is physically gifted. He's got super long arms. You know, he's fast. He's quick. You know, he understands what a receiver is supposed to do and understands the nuances from playing a receiver. So I understand it. I'm surprised. I thought, you know, he was a safety coming in. But at the same time, you know, the kid's a natural athlete. So I don't see him struggling at that spot. And it sounds to me that FSU wants to get some size at the corner spot.
Mm-hmm.
I believe transfer Greedy Vance is coming in at corner as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that means all three of your DB additions, at least so far, they're all going to be starting at corner. You know, I'm sure Florida State, depending on things happen, guys might get moved around to different places.
As we talked about with the wide receiver room, clearly FSU wanted to do something different at corner. So,
yeah, we also got to hear from AJ Duffy too. He talked about sticking with Florida State. He said once he committed, he wasn't going to sway at all. He believes in Mike Norvell. He talked about too with Jordan Travis and him showing him around and him being a leader so far with him in that room. Sam McCall also he said that AT, Azaria Thomas, was his son, and he was giggling and laughing about that. So they have a really close relationship. Seems like those two right away have clicked, and that does make sense. I mean, those are really two of your top class. I mean, defensive guys coming in. It's good that those two are connecting well. But thought those were some pretty solid interviews.
Yeah, I think though too. I don't know if you guys would agree or not. I think with Robinson coming back, you know, I think if he decided to go pro, I think one of those guys would have been at safety. But I think, you know, you like Jamie, you like Cindy Williams and what he's done. You know, Travis Jay. You know, if he can figure some stuff out, you know, you know, there's talent back there too. And you know, Florida State did have some attrition at corner, and you know, there's always a couple possible more. So you never know how that's going to all unfold.
Yeah. Exactly. Let's talk some National Signing Day. Wasn't too crazy, wasn't too hectic as it was 5 years ago, but we still have a National Signing Day, and something happened that really wasn't expected until about 48 hours from it when Antavius Woody, offensive lineman / DT, but coming in as an offensive lineman, he makes his live signing ceremony. It seems like, you know, we're still trying to get confirmation from Florida State's side if that went through. Just trying to understand what that means. Though we did see Mike Norvell retweet his tweet of the picture of him signing. We saw Coach Atkins on the IG Live. He was also retweeted one of my tweets of a highlight of Woody after the signing ceremony was over. But yeah, this one kind of came to a surprise. I mean, we talked about it all during the offseason, Nate. Yeah, we talked about him very highly during the offseason.
You know,
of all things, you know, you got the whole grades thing. Let's kind of block that out and just talk about
him as a player.
Things go well, they go well, boom. But can we talk about just as a player?
He could be a 3-year starter as either a guard or a defensive tackle, and he could be all conference, all American type player at both, in my opinion. I like him more as a D tackle. The kid is super violent. I think the comps to Timmy Jernigan are a little bit. I think it's fair, you know, in terms of the way he can use his hands and the way that he just is mean on the field. But you know, when you look at that offensive line and what FSU wants to do, man, you know, they did an awesome job addressing that whole across the board between, you know, the high school kids and the kids they brought in from the portal. So great signing because the kid's a really good player.
Dustin's not saying nothing.
I wasn't paying attention.
What are you looking at?
I was looking at the Discord.
Hey, you can do your free advertising. Discord's opening up tonight to all the free users again. So keep an eye out for that. It's happening tonight. So we'll put out some posts tomorrow. But anyways, Antavius Woody.
Yeah, it's going to come down to...
What do you think, Austin?
It's going to come down to how his grades look in May, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll see.
But if you do get him in the fold and officially signed in 2 Florida State, that means that FSU signed 6 high school offensive linemen in this class, the most since 2016, and it really just shows the amount of work that Coach Atkins has put in and how much these recruits really believe in him to get 6 high school signees, the 2 transfers on top of that, and just really over the last 2 or 3 classes, how he's rebuilt and retooled that offensive line room. I mean, you look back to 2019, 2018, that position group was one of the worst in the entire country. Not just the ACC,
at Cabbage,
not just the Power 5, in the entire country. So to see what he's done in 2.5 years, less than 3 years, has been extremely impressive. And as I've said on many podcasts, keep him at Florida State forever. If whatever he asks for in his next raise, you have to give him double that.
Yeah, exactly. He's been killing it right now at Florida State. Mike Norvell's also killing it. He's doing a lot of off-season hires, off-the-field hires, to put it exact. Derek Ray has been hired as the general manager. He had previous experience at Oregon State. He comes in now joining Mike Norvell as a general manager position. It feels like Norvell's starting to build an NFL team over here in Tallahassee, but building a lot of off-field staff members, along with the former Memphis director of player personnel, Justin Cruz. Am I saying that right, Dustin?
Krause.
Cruz. God,
I'm not exactly sure.
We're the worst podcast.
I wouldn't ask me.
We'll name anybody. But yeah, you wrote a couple pieces on these guys, just some quick hitters on them coming in. But Florida State and Mike Norvell trying to add some attrition to the off field. I mean, we already talked about it, but Corey Fuller gets hired too. Big time.
And Ratliff.
Ratliff.
Yeah, Ratliff from former Florida guy and former alumni.
Whether it's right or wrong, you look at Georgia, you look at Alabama. They have 427 coaches, support staff. That's just the difference right now. You have guys who can. You always have someone there. You always have someone that can break down film. You always, you have different ideas. So, Florida State's got to get to that level.
True.
And he's addressed it, and I think has brought in a lot of really quality guys.
What do you think, Dustin?
I'm just really kind of excited to figure out more what the general manager is actually going to be doing, what that role is going to entail, and how Ray is going to impact the program. It's kind of interesting. This is something that Florida State has never done before. And, Mike Norvell, he's trying to bring these different things to Tallahassee. And I'm interested to see what exactly he's going to be doing. And same thing with Krause. That guy has had a ton of experience, worked for 3 different SEC programs. He was at Arkansas for a pretty decent stint, at Ole Miss, and also at Vanderbilt in all kinds of different roles. A guy that's also worked for the New England Patriots and, obviously worked for Mike Norvell for a couple seasons as well at Memphis. And Nate, you kind of said it. I like how Norvell is trying to beef up this support staff with guys that have connections all around the country and are really good at what they do off the field.
On the whole army there on the off-field side of things for Mike Norvell right now.
And
you need it because we saw. Sorry, Nate, but we saw what happened on early signing day. There was some failures, and Florida State, they didn't win some recruiting battles that they thought they were going to come out on top of. It was necessary to beef up that support staff this offseason, get more guys in the building that can just keep help building this thing into what Mike Norvell wants it to be.
I think that wraps up practically all the quick hitters. We talked about the Super Bowl coming up with Auden Tate, Jalen Ramsey, Cam Akers. We'll be able to give our prediction next week for that, so we don't have to do that. But shout out to those guys. I personally, the Burrow story is great. I couldn't give a damn. I'm a Steelers fan, so I don't give a shit about Joe Burrow. Sorry. But I'm all in for the Jalen Ramsey and Cam Akers to get a ring. Recruiting kind of amps up things, helps out Florida State on that side of thing. I don't understand why all the FSU fans are just – I want to say a term, but I'm not going to say it, but are just really liking Joe Burrow whenever they've got two really talented former Noles and the contenders of winning a Super Bowl. But that's just me, and I also don't like the Bengals. Screw them, go Rams. But shout out to that. And then Derwin James, you're one of your favorite players ever. Nate, he's moving his number back to 3. He's going from 33 to 3. I like it. Along with Dalvin going back to number 4 too. He's kind of like extra confirmed it, but Dalvin back to 4 and Derwin James back to 3.
I decided against wearing the Bengals hat because I don't like to wear the color orange. So
good, smart idea. That's another reason why I don't like the Bengals. But
what 4 former Noles in the Pro Bowl as well, right, Logan?
Yeah, Derwin was just there. He was doing some video today, and then you've also got Josh Sweat.
Shout out Josh Sweat, man.
Yeah,
what a journey for that kid, man.
So overcame a lot from that knee injury to high school to he was just in the hospital 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
it's a hell of a journey for that kid.
Another kid who almost lost his leg. Had a massive, severe injury. Number 1 recruit in the country. He recovers, starts as a freshman after that injury, and leaves early, gets drafted. Now he's in the Pro Bowl. So, shout out to him, man. Great story.
Absolutely. Awesome. Love hearing that. Before we jump into basketball, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you're on YouTube right now, hit the like button. Hit it. Don't leave us. I know it's sad to talk basketball right now, but Austin's going to...
I'm excited, man.
He's going to take us, but hit the like button. Hit the like button now before you leave. We definitely appreciate it. But VZ,
real quick though.
Oh, Dustin's got some
breaking news? Well, no, we didn't. You didn't mention Jermaine Johnson going to be in the Senior Bowl this weekend. He's been dominating in practice all weekend. Looks like he's going to be a guy that rises up in the draft boards. We think he's a first-round selection. We'll see how it turns out. I've seen him mocked between the first and the second for the most part. But you've got to think with what he's doing in these practices.
Locked it up.
Yeah, and that game will be on Saturday, so make sure to tune in and watch him. And actually right now, while we're recording this show, Deshaun Corbin is playing in the East-West Shrine Bowl. He got invited to the 2022 NFL Combine. I believe it was yesterday. And you can expect Jermaine Johnson and Keir Thomas and maybe a few other guys to get those invitations in the near future.
Absolutely.
And Jermaine Johnson just it's not even it's funny. He's ragged on those guys.
Yeah.
Bull rush and then showing the stuff with the hands.
Fair.
I love it.
That's all I got though. Now you can talk some basketball, Austin.
I don't even want to. I know.
Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. He tried to get out of it last week, which he did get out of it last week after.
I didn't have Wi-Fi. For some reason, no matter where I was in Atlanta, I didn't have cell coverage. I didn't have Wi-Fi. I had nothing.
What brand hotel did you stay at?
Yeah, what hotel were you?
The first night I stayed at my cousin's apartment, and the second night I stayed at someone from the store's apartment.
Well, why don't you stay in a damn hotel? Sorry.
Do you want people that live in
apartments don't have Wi-Fi?
You with all that shoe plug, you're the shoe plug. You can't get a damn hotel in Atlanta.
I'm gonna save money whenever I can save money.
People in apartments don't have Wi-Fi?
The first one did, but it was terrible. I couldn't download anything. I couldn't stream anything. It was horrible.
What about hotspot?
I don't pay for a hotspot. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Logan, man, you need to get this guy, I'm
gonna have to get him a damn
stipend.
Room.
You have to get him a stipend for traveling, bro. I got you.
I was on I-85 for 15 hours in the last 8 days.
I didn't tell you to drive. Now I did not tell you to drive.
Well, then pay for my flight. Let's keep this going. Huh?
What? Oh fuck! I'm choking. Sorry, but I'm actually choking. But lead us into some basketball so I can not cough in the mic.
Before we talk about any games, you guys didn't talk about Malik last week because the news came out after. Old news at this point: Malik Osborne is out for the season. He had ankle surgery today. Just from conversations I've had with him and from people around it, they kind of get the feeling it should have been done a couple weeks ago. But he's shut down now. The date they're aiming for is April 14th for him to be fully rehabbed, fully healed. Then after that, it's seeing what's out there for him. Does he get any NBA workouts, get a G League invite, something like that. Otherwise, he knows he's welcome back at Florida State. The staff's already told him that. I explained more about it in our Discord. I'm going to plug the Discord heavy because I dropped a lot after the Clemson game last night. It was a full nugget tray of stuff after the Clemson game last night.
Can you give us any sauces too? What to go with it? A little Chick-fil-A sauce?
I gave everything. I dumped it all out in front of people and let them go at it. Which, at the time you're like, he hadn't played too well since he hurt his ankle. I think he was 8 of 43 on shots since he hurt his ankle against NC State. Defensively, he didn't have the same verticality, wasn't moving as fast. So you can make the argument, maybe Florida State will be fine, especially with the way Naheem McLeod had been playing. And then Naheem McLeod breaks his hand against Clemson, or finger last night against Clemson last night. And now it's just the morale on the whole team's down. I could see it in their faces. You see it in their body language. It's a lot to overcome, especially with those two guys. Those are your best rebounders. And the fact you get out rebounded by Clemson 37-24, that's not the Florida State team we saw even 2 weeks ago when they dominated Duke on the glass. It's going to be tough sledding this last month. It's going to be really tough sledding. And they got to find a way to get wins. After they beat Miami on the road, feeling really good about yourselves. You look at the 5 games after that, at Georgia Tech, home against Virginia Tech, at Clemson, home against Wake and Pitt coming up. You're like, pretty manageable schedule or pretty manageable slate. You're thinking worst case 4-1, and yet here we are 0-3 heading into that. It's a lot of mess. Guys aren't playing the way they're supposed to. They're playing out of position. They're jumping at the ball in defense. They're too far up the lane. They're trying to go for the steal and then leave their man open. The offense for the most part looked pretty good last night against Clemson, especially on backdoor cuts. They were backdoor cutting Clemson to death. They could not finish at the rim. They missed 3 basically dunks or layups, just right at the rim wide open. And when you lose by 6, missing 3 layups, that's the difference in the game, pretty much. Obviously, there's more factors that go into that throughout the course of the game, like, getting a 5-second violation with a minute and a half left doesn't help. Getting a rebound down 2 and having it poked off your own shin doesn't help. It's a whole bunch of mess. It's the best way to describe it. And they got a lot of recovery to do. I mean, we sat on this podcast 2 weeks ago thinking, wow, Florida State finally turned it around. And yet here we are on February 3rd going, what the hell is this team going to do? It's crazy how fast college basketball can change.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. I mean, like you just said, we were on here thinking, holy smokes.
FSU was number 1 in the ACC like 10 days ago.
Now you're ninth. Now you're
ninth.
Ninth.
Yeah, no, it dropped quick.
We went from 1st to 9th in a span of 11 days ish.
That's crazy.
I don't have any words for it. I really don't. It's a proud program that's really struggling right now. Just talking to some of the veterans last night and guys that have been in that program since I was a manager there, like that are still on the support staff. It's something they don't know really how to react to. It's something that they don't want their legacy defined by. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens these last 9 games. Especially after you play Wake and Pitt, you got a pretty tough stretch after that. At UNC, home against Clemson, at Duke, at BC, at Virginia. 4 road games out of 5 that's a tough ask for a team that needs to win at minimum 7 before the ACC tournament to even have a chance at the bubble.
That's a tough task.
Tough
task.
Especially with your 2 best rebounders.
Is there anything Florida State can try and do to mitigate the loss of the big men? Because obviously the front court, the depth there is not what it is at the guards.
I mean, Harrison's played really well. I mean, for a walk-on, Harrison Priota's played about as well as you could ask, but they got to find a way to get rebounds. Polite's been rebounding well for his position. You normally don't ask your shooting guard and small forward to rebound like he does. But really it's going to come down to John Butler, Cam Fletcher, Wyatt when he plays, Tenor Engon. Those guys just have to be more aggressive and attack the glass. You can't allow Clemson to out-rebound you by 13. And then on the same point, Florida State has to close halves better. You can argue Florida State lost these last 3 games in the last 4 minutes of the first half. I tweeted at halftime yesterday, in the last 3 games of the last 4 minutes at halftime, they're minus 27 and have allowed 42 points in that 12-minute stretch. That's embarrassing for a Leonard Hamilton team that, Leonard Hamilton prides himself on defense, and his team's playing great defense. His team's getting shredded in the last 4 minutes. You can't have that going into halftime. You're digging yourself such a big hole to try and overcome, and it's tough to do that game after game. They've really got to start closing halves better, and I don't really know a way you can fix that other than playing harder, locking in. Don't look forward to a break. Go play basketball.
Mm-hmm. There's a question on here from Michael. Serious question, Austin. Are we a double-digit seed or NIT?
I mean, right now it's NIT. If this team doesn't get figured out, they're going to the NIT. I've been saying the magic number is 21, and they're sitting at 13-8 right now, I believe. So that's 7-2 in the regular season, then winning one the ACC tournament. That maybe gets you there. So they got to turn it around fast, and I mean fast.
What you doing, bro?
I don't know.
Well, what's up with
Patrick's asking if I just took a bump on the live stream. I'm writing.
What's up with the every school now's got a bunch of damn Seth Currys and
yeah, can we talk?
FSU.
Can we talk about the
Jesus,
Virginia Tech game and how
insane that game was? Hunter Couture was 9 of 11 from 3. So I want to go back to the Notre Dame game.
Where? Like where? Like where's this coming from?
I want to take this back to the Notre Dame game in 2017 when we played Notre Dame at home. Notre Dame shot 71% from 3, and Florida State still found a way to win. I don't understand how. And then you come into this Virginia Tech game, they go 18 of 25 from 3. I've never seen that in a practice. Like, it's absurd. For a team to do that, I won't say for the most part well guarded, but some of those shots were pretty well contested. Not all of them, but some of them were pretty well contested.
Also,
18 of 25? Are
18
you
and 25? You're
kidding me?
You're not going to lose a lot of college games.
You're not going to lose a lot of games like that.
No,
especially when Florida State was turning it over like they were. The fact Florida State even had a fighting chance when your opponent is 18 of 25 from 3 is a minor miracle. And for the one player to be 9 of 11 from 3, like,
and the other dude was 6 of 7. Like,
yeah, guy off the bench who averages
between them.
Yeah,
like what?
Guy off the bench who averages 3 points per game comes in, hits 6 of 7 threes. I think it was 5 of 5 in the first half.
Yeah, he made his first 5.
Like,
Georgia Tech, 8 of 11 in the first half.
Yeah, they ended up cooling down in the second half, and then Clemson. I mean, they're both. First of all, Virginia Tech and Clemson are both very good 3-point shooting teams. They're both top 20 nationally. I mean, they're not 72% good normally, but and then Clemson shot 40%. I think on the season they're 38.5. So it's one made 3 more than normal. That's whatever. But that Virginia Tech game was just stupid. And Florida State's 3-point defense has been really bad this year. And that's part of what I was talking about earlier. Guys are just so far out of position on defense that it's messing everything up. And it's messing things up that Florida State went to a 1-3-1 zone last night. I cannot tell you the last time I saw Florida State win a 1-3-1 zone. Could not tell you. I mean, I've been in how many practices? They practice matchup zones, 2-3 zones. I've never seen Florida State try a 1-3-1 zone. They're at least they're trying something new. Mm-hmm. Against Clemson, they finally stopped switching the big men on screens. They started going back to hedging like they did back with Kamaji and Ojo and Bojanovsky. They're at least trying. They're breaking out as much as they can. It's just until guys stick to their principles and don't want to do their own thing, there's only so much you can do.
It's just one of those years, man.
One of those years.
Yeah.
And part of it's the young guys aren't developing like they normally do. Usually by this point, the young guys are figuring out their role. They know what to do. And it seems for every step forward they take 2 back. And it's frustrating as hell for me to watch. I can't imagine what it's like for the coaches.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the stars realigning, bro.
I'm telling you, man.
Got to take it in, man.
I hate Serbia, man. I can't stand Serbia.
I mean, it's been a butterfly effect pretty much since Ike transferred, if you want to go back and think about it. I was planning on doing a little article about this, but Ike transferring makes more playing room for Fiondu. Fiondu balls out, leaves early to draft. That means Balsha starts playing earlier than he's supposed to. He leaves after 2 years. It's been a butterfly effect ever since Ike left, really.
Mm-hmm.
And really, you can even look at you could even look at guys like Patrick Williams leaving early. I don't think anybody thought he'd be a one and done when he signed. Instead, he just absolutely kills the draft process. Ends up being the 4th overall pick. Scotty Barnes. Yeah, Scotty Barnes. If COVID doesn't happen, he's playing like he is now in Toronto, and the coaches fully believe that if COVID doesn't hit that offseason, they're able to work him in the rotation and the plays like they want him to, and they think they can go much deeper in the tournament than they end up going.
Yeah,
and he
quick,
becomes the 4th overall pick, which that wasn't a surprise. But
Dustin, what do you think about Scotty Barnes? You've been the exact opposite of what you thought he was going to be in the pros.
He's having a good year so far. I've given him I feel like I've given him a lot of respect on the podcast for what he's done in the NBA. He's right up there to win Rookie of the Year, and
it's a 3-man race at this point.
Yeah, right up there with Franz Wagner and the guy
Evan
Mobley.
Mm-hmm.
But he's right up there in that mix. And if you look at it, his jump shot fundamentally it's changed a little bit. He's actually knocking down some threes. He looks confident with his shot. To me, he looks everything that he wasn't at Florida State. He was a little bit, I thought, timid to shoot at times at FSU. And I don't know. He's taken some steps forward in his development. Toronto always does really good over there with Nick Nurse.
That's why I was so happy he got drafted by Toronto. I didn't think it was going to happen. Because you can go back to our podcast before the draft happened. I'm like, if he goes to Toronto or Cleveland, I think it's a perfect fit. But I'm like, it's probably going to be Orlando. He goes to Toronto. It's been amazing for him. It's just perfect for him because he fits that culture so well. As a guy that feeds off the moment. I know Toronto doesn't have many crowds right now because of COVID, but when they get crowds back in that arena, he's going to be the Toronto player, and that's huge for him.
And the brand for FSU basketball, too. Keep killing it.
Speaking of the brand for FSU basketball, Trent Forrest has been hooping recently.
I've been following that.
I think he's had 2 18-point games last week.
And that's would be most excited for. Deserving, hats off to him. That's awesome.
Absolutely. I think he's still on a 2-way contract, which is the thing that
he is
crazy. So he has to go back to the G League at some point.
Isn't Vassell doing really good too now?
Yeah, Pop's given him a lot of praise recently. Which I think we all saw that coming, that Devin in San Antonio was the perfect fit. Turk's been getting a lot of love in the G League. He's been killing over there. I think last week he had close to triple doubles, like 18, 14, and 9 or something.
Wow.
He's playing really well there.
Jeez.
How's Balsa doing?
I don't want to talk about him.
It's all his fault, man.
It's still a sore subject. If you put Balsa on this team, a lot of things are solved.
Yeah.
And I wish Pat was healthy. I really, really wish Pat was healthy the way Chicago's playing.
Yeah, as a Bulls fan,
has there been any updates on him?
Finally back.
I haven't seen one. Let me see if I can find one real quick.
I'm sorry, man. Just get Boston in the playoffs. We'll see what happens.
Hey, we're 9th seed right now. Technically, we'd make it. Play-in game, baby.
Oh wow, he's out for the regular season.
Oh damn.
So
stuff.
Which I thought, because I know they tried to get an injury exemption for him.
It was a pretty severe wrist injury.
Yeah.
Damn. Some breaking news here to end off the pod. Doug Peterson. Any Jags fans? I'm sure there's some Jags fans here. That is going to be your next head coach in Jacksonville. Duval continuing to embarrass himself.
I think that's a solid hire.
That's not a bad hire, dude.
That's a solid hire.
But you left things going to go right with Leftwich.
So
I think Leftwich wants to go coach Jameis.
Leftwich wants to be in Jacksonville. He just doesn't want to be under Balky.
I think Leftwich interview with them is like, hell no, man.
Yeah, Balky's. it all comes down to Balky.
I'll wait for Bruce Arians to step down. I'll stay here.
Yeah,
I don't blame him. I really don't. And the Vikings they haven't officially hired him, but O'Connell, offensive coordinator from the Rams.
Yeah, it seems like that's going in y'all's favor for.
I really wanted it to be Harbaugh. I really did.
I'm track.
When all those rumors were surfacing, I really wanted it to be Harbaugh.
Did you really?
I wonder how many recruits were like, man, on National Signing Day, the coach I'm supposed to go play for.
Well, I read an article this morning published by one of the Vikings guys on The Athletic, and apparently, players recruits were told, hey, I may look at an NFL opportunity if one opens up. So he was straightforward with it.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently Minnesota didn't even offer. I think after they'd talked for a while, they just didn't realize it wasn't the greatest fit, which I can see.
Yeah, I'm watching, the Saints and what Jameis and what his decision is going to be, because when we get closer into March and free agency, that's going to be big for Jameis. The Saints are getting ready to interview with offensive coordinator from the Chiefs, Eric Bieniemy. So that's also big.
Bieniemy. God,
same thing.
Horrible.
It's the same thing.
No, God.
It's better than Haggins.
That is true.
Shout out,
Who
Dustin.
said that?
Shout out, Dustin.
There's no proof of that.
Only like 12 podcasts.
That's more than 12.
No one will go listen back to that, though, so there's no proof.
You really think that Jameis will resign with New Orleans?
Who knows?
I think it's really going to depend on
who comes in. Yeah, who comes in.
I think it's also going to depend on where he's going to get his best opportunity.
I mean, not for nothing, I don't think the next coach is going to be as hard on for Taysom Hill as.
Yeah, Taysom Hill ain't beating out Jameis.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's already a wrap there.
It's like there's plenty of other opportunities, though. Like, does he want to keep going with those same receivers? I wouldn't.
No, I mean, it seems like
you don't know.
Michael Thomas's time is over.
Yeah, you can't trust him. You got a badass running back, but other than that,
it's like with the teams that need a quarterback this year. Like, you go to Denver and have Hamler, Judy, Noah Fant. I mean, I'm missing receivers obviously because they have 4 really good ones.
They got good backs,
good defense.
I'm not gonna lie, Pittsburgh has a couple dudes, couple skill players.
I want to see him go somewhere.
A young running back and a young quarterback together.
I want to see him go somewhere where, he can win and prove a lot of people wrong.
That's what I think. Denver's a great fit because their defense was phenomenal last year.
So not Pittsburgh. Okay, so we'll cross that off.
Get out of here!
Or even if Cleveland wants to move on from Baker.
Yeah, I mean, Cleveland's got talent.
I don't think they can move on from.
I don't think that their coach is a bad coach. I just don't know if I would.
I really like Kevin Stefanski. I love their head coach.
Yeah, I don't know if I put all my eggs in the Baker Mayfield basket.
Yeah, and I'm looking right at you, Bucks fans. You don't deserve Jameis. I'm seeing all these Twitter tweets. Definitely
about bringing him back.
Barnes, Richie Barnes, if you're in this, and all you other little weirdos in Tampa. You don't deserve Jameis.
We'll pull up your old tweets.
Yeah, we'll pull up all of your tweets, all of your things, everything, DMs, everything. I don't give a damn. All the text, I'll even just screw up everything and go to jail for this. You don't deserve Jameis. So if you keep on trying to say, now that Tom Brady's gone, all your little hula, that was fun while it lasted.
I mean, you think Carolina's a stable situation? It seems like Matt Rule might be a little bit on the chopping block.
That's true, but at least you got some receiver talent and DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, CJ McCaffrey if he can ever find a way to stay healthy.
What about Minnesota?
We got a lot to figure out.
I don't want him behind that offensive line either.
Dalvin,
the line's getting better. We need a better guard, and it'll be fine. The tackles are good, and O'Neal and Darisaw.
I mean, would you take him in Minnesota?
Take him over Cousins because I know it's going to be a third of the contract.
Well, also too, I mean, getting that ball down the field to Jefferson would be pretty ridiculous.
Thielen, Irv Smith, KJ Osborne had a good season.
Jameis and Dalvin back together again. That's what I want.
I would flip, but I don't think it's going to happen.
You already got one.
It's an outside.
No, we do not have one. Cousins is not one.
I'm saying you've already got a null.
But Cousins is going to be there unless something happens.
Okay.
Well,
you don't get to have.
I'm gonna put this on here now.
And you had to save your roads.
If the Raiders part ways with with Derek Carr. You know,
they shouldn't.
They shouldn't, but that'd be interesting. You know, Jameis out at the Raiders.
Garoppolo too will be open.
Yeah,
I mean they just have to Trey Lance. I don't see them investing in another quarterback.
I think Garoppolo is going to end up at Tampa.
That'd be something like that.
I would love it.
That'd be ironic.
They deserve it.
No, they deserve Kirk Cousins is what they deserve.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think that's going to wrap up everything.
No, they deserve to go Kyle Trask.
No, they deserve Kirk Cousins. Did you see him throwing those passes today in that Pro Bowl game? Oh my God, it's hysterical.
I ain't paying attention to the Pro Bowl. What do you think?
No, I'm not either. But it kept popping up on timeline because I follow. You know,
what the skills contest or whatever.
Yeah, so they had like a board with like holes in it, and like each hole's a different amount of points, and they put a defensive back in front of them. So like, of course, the defensive back was Derwin too. I'm pretty sure, and I don't think Cousins hit a single one. And everyone's like, "This guy's getting paid how many millions of dollars?"
Yikes! That's a major yikes.
Like he missed the biggest hole by like a foot.
Yeah, that is,
and it's not even that far away. It's like 10 yards away.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that Mendoza. I think they should have moved away from the Redskins, but you know,
I think it was time.
The Commanders, baby.
I've seen a really good argument against the name. There's no other team in the NFL with oh man, what's the word, bro? You can't what's the nickname for Commanders? You can't really shorten it.
The Manders.
I mean, the Vikings. I guess Vikes.
Vikes. You call the Patriots the Pats. Like everyone has something you can kind of shorten it.
The
down
Jets
to.
don't. The Jets.
The Colts.
The Jets. The Colts. The Chiefs.
3 teams with 3-syllable names though. Like they have a really hard name to pronounce.
What about Chargers?
Commanders.
The Jers. The Bronx.
I'm talking 3 syllables.
That article's stupid.
3 syllables.
The commies.
You're not saying
I think you read a terrible article.
F is Dan Snyder.
I think the article you read was written by The Onion.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I don't know what you're reading. What you reading on your side? On the side.
It was on NFL Reddit. I don't know.
Making sure it's on the SI network, please.
I know Red Tails was one of the finalists.
Dolphins.
Fins.
Logan, did you read that article?
I did not read it.
SI site put out?
No, I don't want to even. I don't.
Did any of you guys read it?
Well, what happened?
Like SI Arkansas wrote some recruiting article about, I guess there was a guy yesterday who already had issues coming into the day, and they knew he wasn't going to wind up with Arkansas, but he was committed, and he signed with Campbell, the Campbell Camels, and the Arkansas site made some kind of I don't even know. You'd have to go read it. It's a really
didn't Campbell finish the top 100 class?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did, but it was a really weird article. They were pretty much just trashing Campbell and being like, this guy, he decided to spend his life here where they have, I don't know,
they went.
Dude, I told you it was.
Here's the thing: Campbell's in North Carolina. I'd rather live in North Carolina than Arkansas.
Campbell signed former FSU quarterback commitment Chad Mascow.
Oh yeah, we do remember him. IMG, former IMG.
Former number 29 overall recruit in the country, number 1 quarterback. Mm-hmm. That's why early recruiting rankings don't mean jack shit.
Mm-hmm. We're there first from Nate Greer, lead recruiting insider, NoGameDay.com. I think that's going to wrap up everything for this evening. That was a long one. That was a 2-hour long podcast.
My bed has been tempting me because it's literally 3 feet to my left.
Chris Parson's better than Arch Manning, man. Chris Parson.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
Better than Arch Manning.
Here we go.
Chris Parson, number 1 player in the last 4 classes.
Oh, God. Don't add on to it, Dustin.
Look at Nate. I had to replace him with Travis Hunter. You know?
No offense to Chris. Travis Hunter is that player. But we're talking about quarterback-wise. I want Chris Parsons to go just rub Arch Manning's dick in the dirt at the Elite 11.
Let's end this off.
We've got to cut this off.
Go cut on his tape, man. Go cut on Arch Manning. Go cut on Arch Manning's tape, and because he's Manning is why he's.
Oh yeah, bumps you up at least. 10 spots.
So my whole point is, I hope Chris goes to Elite 11 and smokes them like a pack of Cools.
I like that. See, that's better. That's better.
Better? That's marginally better. Yeah.
That's better. We can work with that. We're getting there.
It's not the first thing he said. So
no, we're improving. We're improving. All right, guys. Everybody definitely appreciate y'all listening.
Hey, I did good in this podcast, man. You know,
yeah, you did. It could have been worse. Yeah, we could have been.
You did a good job. Pat yourself on the back.
Thank you, Chris, for coming on. Appreciate you. We'll have some more with him. Make sure you guys go check out his journal. As always, you can listen to podcasts on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube.
You trying to cut me off?
And then, we'll see you guys next Thursday night at 8:30. Hope everybody has a great weekend.
Boneless buddies.
Adios.